Welcome to the Off Label Podcast. It's your weekly dose of sanity in an insane world. Look, we got a good one today. It's going to be a little bit heavier than what we have been doing here lately, but apparently there was a 15-year-old who kind of got a little bit of stomped out, and it's a very yeah. But I'm going to touch on it. I want to get that out there because this story is kind of like, to me, I have not seen anybody touch this one yet. As far as that goes, but we also got another one about, look, if you did a Rumble segment with us, we were talking about how people were grinding up bones and using the bone dust to cut down drugs. Well, we got another one for you. That's same situation. We also have, look, guys, I did want to do it because it's a touchy subject as far as that goes, but we have to talk about this, with the pro-Palestine, I guess you would say protests, because nothing's really happened right now, but the pro-Palestine protests that have happened all over school grounds, everything that's been going on with that. Apparently, it has even reached Senate Majority Chuck Schumer's front door. And we also have another one. Apparently, this will be Rumble only, but apparently there is some unredactions of some certain documents about some sealing that was going on in the Jack Smith case with down in Florida with Trump, and we'll get into that because that is a crazy ass story. We got some guests with us tonight, ladies and gentlemen. Let's roll.
Hey kid, don't ever let them get inside your head. They'll tell you what to do in life instead of everything you know that you could get. Don't let them guide your life towards regret. I'll fight for what I love with every breath. My past is filled with things I won't forget. I use them all to push me to my best. So treat the worst of times just like a test. If only I could go back in time, I'd tell myself that everything will end up alright. Just push yourself, test yourself, figure out what you like, and find your limits, don't be rigid, always work towards a prime. Surround yourself with open minds, people can change your life. A few friends with intent can help you feel alive. Find a passion, take some action, and with a little time, just be patient, make a statement, try to enjoy your life. They'll try to kick you while you're down. They wanna rise up while you drown. They wanna fill your head with doubt. They're silently scared that you'll figure it out. I'll make it look like I'm losing, won't bother hiding my bruises. And when they finally think you're wounded, then it's your chance to be ruthless. I'll make it look like I'm losing, won't bother hiding my bruises. And when they finally think you're wounded, then it's your chance to be ruthless.
What's up, everybody? How you doing tonight?
What did we just see?
It's one of those. I don't know where they come from, but it's one of those games where you have to remain completely quiet because have you ever seen those ones where they're just like
Silent
they remain
library.
completely silent, and if you make a sound, they just whip you with something. Kind of the same.
Oh my
thing.
god, yeah.
No.
You've never seen Silent Library on MTV?
Silent
That was
Oh, Silent Library. Yeah, I remember
Yeah.
that. I remember that.
Yeah. That's kind of they do that. They do those shows came from Japan and everything like that.
Okay.
So
What's up, Polar
what a
Bear?
polar bear. But yeah, I love those things. It's they just don't care over there. They really don't. Maybe they're
Yeah,
doing
yeah.
something right over
And
there.
Cora in the house. What's up? He's from the Watching the Watchers crew. But yeah,
Well, hello, welcome.
Yeah.
We have Mama
We
J
got some
with
new
us
ones.
and Haley Kennington with us tonight.
for all of you newcomers out here, let me go ahead and lay this out for you how this is going to work straight off the bat. Okay, this is unscripted. This is real conversations. This is nothing. We're just going off the hip with everything like here. If you hear something offensive, please just move on. With that out of the way, ladies and gentlemen, we have with us tonight Troublemaker Davey, of course. How are you doing tonight, sir?
I'm fantastical. I'm glad to be here as always. I don't want to say too much. I don't want to get in trouble.
All right, with us, of course, with us tonight is Haley Kennington. Haley, how are you doing?
I'm doing well. Thanks for having me back on. How are y'all?
You're welcome. Who are you for everybody out there?
Who am I? I'm a journalist and I'm the news editor for Wrong Speak Publishing. I've worked on a couple of films you may have heard of: Plot Against the President, What is a Woman? Been working on some other fun things, but in my spare time, I do a lot of researching, a lot of reading and writing.
Right? Yeah, she definitely does. She goes deep into situations like she has long form articles about the history of everything, and it's great. You want to know something about something, she's your woman for it. But
Thanks.
yes, we also have Mama J with us. Mama J, how you?
I'm doing wonderful. Thank you, guys. I'm just going to be here talking, crocheting just a little bit, just
And who
here
are
to have
you?
fun. Oh, I'm just some mom that you guys picked up off the side of the road that said, "Hey, we want to listen to your opinions." And I said, "All right, fine." So, but I also do a podcast with Mr. Davey, Troublemaker Davey, here on Wednesdays with Business Party Podcast, and then also on Sundays on Rumble for Weekend Hangover, and we talk about not just politics, but we also talk about, what's going on in culture. We just talked about Britney Spears and her conservatorship. We're going to be talking about how this week, we're going to be talking about how the Congress actually tried to kind of take over the Free Britney movement and use it, I guess, to their advantage to pass some new laws on conservatorship. So we're going to be talking a little bit about that.
We also
on Sunday.
do relationship stuff, and we do
Yep.
parenting stuff, and
Look,
we're also going to talk about the WNBA and how everybody thinks it's sexist that the WNBA doesn't get paid as much as the regular NBA. And I said, yes, the regular NBA, that is. And yeah, we're going to talk about that this weekend also.
let me ask you guys' opinion. I Haley, I'm gonna have to leave you out of this because you weren't following along with that. But Davey and Mama J, let me ask you, which one's crazier? The little story you were just talking about, or the little, what was the short one's name?
Mary J. Blige.
Natalie Grace.
Oh, Natalia Grace.
Oh,
Which story is crazier?
Natalia Grace or
Natalia
who?
Grace. That's it. Yeah.
Or
the one you
what,
were just
Britney?
talking about. Yeah, the
Or
Britney,
Britney
one.
Spears. I
honestly,
mean,
the Britney Spears I think is crazier
I
than
think the
anything
Britney.
because her celebrity almost alone was its own economy with TMZ, Perez Hilton,
Kinda like
them
what
all
Taylor
being
Swift is.
involved, judges, politicians, her family, all these people in cahoots just to keep her in a conservatorship. Crazy.
Yeah.
I can crochet. I'm sorry. I know how to do it. I spent time in juvenile.
You understand?
I learned
that
some
I'm in
things.
jail, and they taught me how to crochet to keep me from killing y'all.
I tell you what,
I
though, it does
mean,
help
you're
with
not-
anxieties and stuff. I'm
you're
like a
not
person,
totally
I always
off.
have to be doing something, and it helps my hands.
Could you imagine?
No.
Mike-
don't
It's
get in
actually great
trouble.
for arthritis.
Could you imagine instead of the psychedelic drugs they put Mike Tyson on, they just let him crochet and he just got calm?
He's
He's
like,
just like,
oh,
"Yeah,
look at this tiger sweater I just made myself.
I just do this button hook and I'm no longer wants to eat nobody's children's. It's an actual quote from Mike Tyson. He said
I'm Mike
I will
Tyson
eat your
here."
children's. Like, oh, this is just a basket weaving fun time. Mike, relax, buddy.
He makes earmuffs, but for only one ear.
Did you see?
Hold on,
So
that's
you-
a fucking perfect thing for marketing strategy for him.
Well, did you see that he actually has gummies now? Weed infused THC gummies that are Evander Holyfield's ear missing the top part of it.
Really?
Yeah.
He has gummies. I saw the commercial and I was ADHD. Here we go. And I was crying when I saw it. And Evander Holyfield is actually in the commercial.
No, he's not really.
Yes, he is.
Oh, we're going down this
Oh.
tangent already? We haven't
Well,
even done nothing.
I mean, why wouldn't you want to try to market it, right? You gotta
I mean,
get
honestly,
a skin out of it. And you eat it. It should just
Yeah.
be like ears.
Right.
Why not just do ears?
no,
just-
the fact that it's Evander Holyfield's ear, though.
Yeah.
That's the fucking wonderful
That's
part
cool.
of
He did it with him, though. That's cool.
I wonder if he gets any kind of market share of it. Listen.
That's what I mean.
But yeah, Davey's looking it up, aren't you? You're doing it, aren't you?
You go first. Okay. No, I go. You sure? You mean?
I like the way you search that. Mike
There you
Tyson
go.
weed commercial.
What's this? I'm glad we iron things out.
This is an iron.
Now I got you a gift.
Oh my gosh. Look on the table. Yeah.
Look at his poor ear. Look at the smile on
What
his
is
face.
this? What is this? I got your ear. No, it's not. This ain't my ear. Yes, it is. Cherry pie punch. My ears don't taste like cherry pie. They do. My ears don't. Yes, they do. Man, they don't. Yes, they do. No, it don't. Yes, it do. Why I ate your ear, I should know.
Now
That-
kiss.
All right, look, that was awesome. I'll give it that. That was great.
I'm telling you, there's a fight coming up between Mike Tyson and Jake Paul or Logan Paul, one of the Paul brothers. I cannot wait. The man is 57 years old, going to be 58 soon. And I've watched some of the videos of him training. The
Dude.
man is a beast still. This is going to be interesting. I'll tell you
I
that.
would hate to. No, I'm serious. I would hate to actually pay to watch a funeral. I'm not gonna lie. Look, you're talking about the best of the best in the boxing world of that day. You know, they were the top of that day, and you come up and see like Jake Paul and everything. Mayweather wouldn't fucking stand a chance.
Well,
Well,
we'll see.
Who would actually pay for the pay-per-view of that if you think it's going to be over in one round? Like, I'm going to pay $50 or whatever it is.
Where's my wrong way? Yes. See.
Yeah.
Do you know how
I'm
many
pointing the
times you
opposite
paid?
direction of what I'm looking?
You know how many times people have paid back in the day in our era, to watch Mike Tyson for 60 seconds? You know how long the fight, the pre-fights would be until 12 midnight Eastern Standard Time, and Mike Tyson would come out. It'd be 12:20, and the fight would be over by 12:20 in 30 seconds. Okay, and everybody was just like, "Yeah, woohoo!" And then,
Well, hold
I
on.
get, you know
you
what? I guess
cannot-
I just don't get it. I don't. I always hated it. I never, anytime
can't
like
take
my
away
friends
from
would
the
want to go
fact that
watch
that
it at the
man-
bar, I'd be like, I see you later. I
You
can't.
can't, Davey. You can't take away from the fact that that man went round for round when it needed to happen, though.
Haley,
I
can
mean,
I have
he
some backup
went
here?
12
Can you
I
help
mean,
me
I
out
like
here?
I like
Yes.
MMA. I'm not big on boxing. Boxing's fun, but I'm more into MMA. I like
This was
cage
when
fighting.
boxing was real and boxing wasn't pussy style, though. You know.
Yeah, no, I agree.
So who do you like in MMA right now?
Nobody. I don't watch. I don't watch it now. No, I watched it. God, like early 2000s, mid like 2000s, back when it was good, and like before they had all the rules where you know, like they shut a lot of things down that you couldn't do anymore that you used to could do in cage fighting.
Like
You
the
know, they
Ken
used to.
Shamrock era back then?
Yes. Oh my gosh.
Oh, yeah.
Yes. And what the little short one, Robbie Lawler, the little
Yeah.
itty bitty one. Yeah.
Yep.
And I can't, you know, there was a bunch that I liked. The Forest.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, that-
yeah, I like that era, but over boxing. Although honestly, I am interested in some of these new, like the Jake Paul, and I haven't seen any of that. I think I saw one fight, but it was like a E-celeb or something, and he got knocked out like on the first round. Was it Sneeko or somebody? I don't know.
Something like that. But they have these now, like I don't know, you know Barstool, correct?
Yeah.
Okay. They have their own cult, rough and rowdy, where they just have normal everyday people come up who want to box each other and just start boxing each other, and it's the greatest thing ever. I haven't bought one. I've seen like the prelims fights and pick videos on Twitter, but they just look fun. Like two neighbors are just like, yeah, just they're upset at each other over a line in a fence, and they're just like, I'm gonna take on Jacob. Jacob didn't like the fact that I mowed through my lawn and I mowed his lawn. Well, Don is there, and you know he just wants to do whatever he wants and play his dang music all night. So I'm just gonna fight his face.
Well, but see, that's a
Great.
lot more interesting to me than maybe the pro side of things, where you know you're training and that's all you do. You know you prep for it and all that kind of stuff. I would much rather watch two neighbors, you know, going at it because of a tree or something. That sounds great, actually.
So you'd rather much watch bum fights?
Yeah. Oh, who doesn't like bum fights? Right?
Or
Bum
you
fights
could
is
watch.
great.
Anybody remember that? That was.
I remember. Bum
It was
fights.
fucked up. Let's admit it. It was kind of fucked up. But
Well, you got to
can
have
watch
some skin in the game, right? Like, there's got to be something that's this
Right.
built up animosity between two
do you
regular
remember
people.
Bling
Sounds
Bling
great.
Crackhead? Anybody
Yes,
remember Bling Bling the Crackhead?
I remember Kimbo Slice the crackhead.
Oh my God, Kimbo Slice.
Rest in
All
peace.
right. That's,
But,
that's
but,
gonna be
what do I-
another
what-
episode
listen.
for me and Davey.
But
I gotta
listen,
I
tell
gotta
me
introduce you
to
to
watch
Bling Bling the
that.
Crackhead.
We can either watch that or we can watch a grown ass man beat the hell out of a McDonald's employee. I mean,
I was
I don't.
trying to wait a minute to bring down the mood, but fine, let's roll into it.
I mean, I'm trying to segue, sir. It's called a segue. I know a little bit about radio.
That
on the
was a
street.
harsh ass segue.
It was a fight, wasn't it?
McDonald's worker 15 left with fractured skull after adult male with rap sheet stomps her head during a brawl.
I swear for God, I thought he said a rapper sheet, like he was a rapper. Here, hold my CD.
Well, I mean, it's not as bad. I'll admit that. But a goon with a lengthy criminal history viciously assaulted a 15-year-old female McDonald's worker, like I'm fucking working there. Dragging her by the hair, repeatedly stomping her on the head in the parking lot after a rowdy group of customers provoked a brawl with employees inside the restaurant earlier this month, according to the police. Johnny Rakes, 25, was arrested for assault after he allegedly grabbed the teen by her hair, yanked her across the parking lot of the restaurant just outside of St. Louis before bashing her head into the concrete and punching her in the face, St. Louis police said. The girl, identified as Ariana Lynch on a GoFundMe set up by her family, suffered a fractured skull, a broken nose, and damage to her frontal lobe.
Jesus.
But he's
Christ.
not going to be charged because he just yelled, "It's ma'am," and then he punched her in the face.
What? Stop using
That's
my arguments.
I read your
No,
mind, son.
I actually used that argument at one point in time. I was just like, okay, so you want to talk about equal rights? Now you let men into the little trans community and you want to do that. You're talking about the patriarchy. You fighting that. You just created the patriarchy and yeah, now you must suffer. But yeah, that was one of the points I made along the way with that too.
It's okay to let them in the bathroom, but punching them in the face, that might be okay too. We don't know.
Well, I mean,
So, do we
literally,
know
if a
why
woman
they
gets
start
uppity,
fighting?
all you have to do is say, "I identify as a woman," and throw hands.
I mean, they make the
That
rules.
was my
We're just trying to go
argument
by
from the
them.
beginning with it.
Yeah,
Anyway,
oh, I know.
we went off on a tangent. Pull it back. Anyway, this is what we do, ladies and gentlemen. It's a great time. This assault had been a life-changing experience for her, the teen's mother, Shanika Phillips, wrote on the page. All right, so apparently they had a fight in a McDonald's. All right. And
Why?
Yeah, but what
like, does it
started
say-
it?
Right.
Oh, what started the fight? It was. Let me
The fries are
go.
cold.
Let me go back to it.
Well, you saw some fights happen in what Golden Corral and shit because there was no more steaks left or whatever.
Was it really?
People got rowdy.
I mean, it doesn't start as far as it goes. It just starts off saying St. Louis County Police say that at one point Ricks became enraged and threw fruit at an electronics menu screen, destroying it. The brawl then spilled out into the parking lot, so it doesn't show anything. I don't want to show the video and everything like that. Look, I don't even want to go into it.
Hold on, wait a
myself.
minute. The group
I don't
then
want to see a
stormed
child
inside.
be beaten. You know?
No, I don't
Hold on,
either. I don't
yeah.
either. But it says the group then stormed inside the McDonald's. Go up just a little.
Where was it?
Up.
Oh yeah.
Right there. If you
Allowed
want
them
to get your order,
drive-through, so he said,
Step
"Hey,
inside.
take a step
pulled up
inside." Yeah,
to
there we go. Yeah, that was it.
drive-through window at the restaurant and began behaving obnoxiously, according to Lynch's family. It was getting loud. Okay, being obnoxious in the drive-through.
I was looking for that, but I skipped over that one. But yeah,
Get a step inside is what the teen is because
fight.
they're being obnoxious and they're like, dude, I can't hear you.
yes,
Come inside.
yes.
Because we've never seen that before.
That's
We've
as
never
far as
seen
I'm going to
people
go
get-
with it.
Get
I don't even want to
angry
look for it. I don't even want to see it. That's as far as I want to go with that.
because
Well,
you know
and-
it's never. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
no, well, your argument with it being like, oh, just I identify as a woman, like that's great, but in this situation, realistically, and I know you didn't mean it like this, but
Yeah.
seriously, this is a grown man and a group of grown
Yes.
men. Like what? I don't understand that. I really don't get how
Stomping a
any
teenager.
man. Yeah, and female on top
Yeah.
of it. It does matter. Men are stronger than
Right.
women. It's a known thing. That's ridiculous. And over food, I mean, it sounds to me like he got embarrassed or something in
It
front of
wasn't
his
even
boys.
over
Or,
food. They were just acting a fool in the fucking drive-through line.
yeah, but see, she called him out in front of his
and
homies.
she's just
So
like,
Yeah.
"Hey, look, pull forward, come inside, please."
Yeah,
and
but
he's
that's
like, "Nah, that ain't happening. I'm stomping out a 15-year-old."
that's
but come on. What
Well,
happened?
no,
Look what
but
happened
him
at the.
throwing a tray. And it said he threw a food tray when he was in there breaking something.
Breaking one of the kiosks that they have because
Mhm.
Yeah.
But come on, look what
$15
happened
an
at the
hour,
Saint,
fuck you.
the Kansas City Chiefs Taker Tape parade. Some guy disrespected another guy and stepped on his foot, and all of a sudden there was a shooting. Like it's a mindset of people, and I'm not saying people as in color, just a person's mindset. Some people just have it in their mind that they're not going to be disrespected for any reason. They're not going to be,
No,
they're not going to tolerate
not a color
somebody
thing
talking
either.
back to them. They just want to fight because I've seen many of drive-through brawls where people are just fighting through the window, and it's like, why are we doing? First of all, I get why they want $20 an hour. If I want to get punched in the face, I want more than $15 an hour. But like,
Jennifer's got a point.
yeah, maybe it is displaced anger, but where is the anger coming from? This is what, and I feel the anger is coming from a lot of the stuff that's going on, especially now, and has been going on for a long time. That you have people who keep telling people that the government hates them, or a certain sect of people hate them, a certain kind of a person doesn't like them, and they harbor this resentment towards people. And and it just makes for a bad combination of stuff. Poor girl was sitting there trying to work.
They're selfish assholes that won't take 5 minutes to do something right, and they don't know how to act because no one beat their ass when they were a kid and said, "No, you do not act like this, and you don't treat a woman like this. You don't treat a little girl like this." I was asking myself this question before we even got on because Rich had told me about the story, and I was like, "Because listen, I have never been in a fight. I am a little bit of a pussy. I would not get in a fight. I don't like being in fights, whatever." But my question is like, when you're in a fight, what is your end goal? Is your end goal to actually kill somebody? Is your end goal just to get them to stop?
It
Like,
seems
depends.
why?
like
How does it
That-
get so
that
far
depends.
and so
That depends.
emotional
That
about
depends. Are
because
you
you're called
the
out and saying come in that you're gonna beat somebody's head in?
are you the aggressor or are you the target?
Well, in this case, in this case, it seems like he was the aggressor. And don't tell me, oh well, words. No, words are not violence. I'm sorry, that is fucking violence. Stomping some kid's head in.
Maybe he got upset because he
I
couldn't
will
figure out the
save-
kiosk.
I will save
I
my
was thinking the same thing. I was like, what if he's like, I can't read because
Yeah,
schools suck anyways.
Wait, what's
know,
this say?
Take my order.
how
You're supposed to take my order in the drive-through. Now I'm in here arguing with a bot. Sorry.
Have you gone to a McDonald's lately though? Like they've
no.
replaced
How many
people-
times? I
they've
can't
replaced
tell you how
people
many
with bots.
times I've wanted to destroy the kiosk myself. I'll admit that.
But
I
have
would
you
want to cause a riot to destroy those things. All right.
Yeah.
have you gone through a drive-through? They've replaced the person with a bot, and you're sitting there going, "No pickles." Does that complete your order? No pickles on the cheeseburger. Does that complete your order? No cheese. Would you like a milkshake? No pickles on the cheeseburger. Hello, driver,
Yeah.
please.
That
It's
was
like-
where at Wendy's.
at McDonald's.
Oh,
where-
is it?
Yeah, the same McDonald's I go to down the block here because my son, my 11-year-old, loves McDonald's. So when we got to be quick and have some food,
Yeah.
they've gotten my order wrong every single time I've been there. Like they give me somebody else's, and you can see the headphone in the person's ear, and they just like hand it out, not even look at me, just hand the food out, and I go, "This is not the right." And before I get, this is the door, the window's closed, they've walked away, and it's like. And so I understand where the frustration is, but it's a 15-year-old girl. Like,
Yeah.
how dare you? Listen, I got a 20-year-old, and somebody puts their hands on my 20-year-old, I'm flying back to Jersey, and they're gonna have to deal with me, you know. And it's disgusting where we've come as humanity, where we don't like. I get mad, but I'm not gonna fight somebody over fries.
Well, and how
Have you
much of
never
this is
wanted
like
to stomp a 15? Well,
well, no, but look, seriously, how it's
I've
from
never
the lack,
felt the impulse to stomp somebody. Like,
It's
have
from the
I
lack
thought
of
of
respect
punching
for
somebody in the
women.
face, like a kid in the face? Yes.
yeah,
Yeah.
but
have
like,
I ever
just-
wanted to act on it to that point because I acted a fool and somebody called me? God, no. I deserved it. If a kid calls me out, I deserve it.
but just on a male female side of things, like there's no respect for women. Like at no point did he stop and think, number one, this is a child, maybe I shouldn't.
Mhm.
Number two, this is a woman, maybe I shouldn't, or a young girl, I guess I should say, maybe not a woman, but this is a public establishment where there's children 2 feet from me, maybe I shouldn't. Like none of these things crossed his mind. He had no respect for anything, including himself.
And it looked like in that picture though that there was 2 men and then 3 women.
Yeah, 3
If you don't
women were
mind
fighting.
seeing.
Yeah, so it's probably
bring
them
it
up.
antagonizing.
back
They were
up.
probably antagonizing him, going, "You're gonna let her talk to you like that? You're gonna let her talk to you like that?"
No.
No. These women
because
started
now it looks
fighting,
like maybe
and
it may
she-
have been a group of guys in a car. I don't know.
Like
It's
where'd
aw-
the
it's
women
just-
come
whatever
from?
it is, it's awful.
Are these
I'm
onlookers?
pretty-
Are they in the drive-through? Who are these other ladies?
Right.
true speculation here. I'm not going to look into this any further because I literally don't want to see how any of this popped off. I'm just going to be completely fucking honest here, but I guarantee I'm going to put I'll put $20 on it, and I don't fucking bet. I'll put $20 on it that these women actually started the fight. The men were drawn in. She was trying to just be
It
like,
still
"Look, can you
no
take it out of the
fucking
store?" And they drug
excuse.
her out. No, it is not
Okay.
an excuse.
Still.
But she
Act
was
like
just
it
probably
this
like
is-
coming
no,
up
no,
and
this is
saying, "Hey,
child
can you just
behavior
get the
from
hell
these
out?"
Guys, men
Right.
don't act like that.
No,
we
they
have a-
don't. But
At
We have,
least
a
they
society
shouldn't.
we have a society full of boys. That's the problem, and that's why
Yeah.
that's why
Fatherless
there's
boys too.
yeah. That's exactly where I was going to go. When you don't have a man to teach you how to be a man, you continue to be a boy, and when you are raised by a mother and gang members, I'm just making an assumption. I'm not making an assumption. I'm making a hypothetical. You're raised by gang members, and they teach you how to be a quote unquote man with violence and stuff like that. To you, that's fine. that you're perfectly fine to do that, you know. And it's gross, man. It truly is gross.
Look, here's
Yeah.
the thing. It's a lack of community and lack of respect for community as far as that goes. Like, if that were a thing, like, all right, baby, let's say you had a son. All right. If
Yeah.
I caught your son beating on a 15-year-old little girl, you think that kid's gonna come back to you in one piece?
No.
There's your it takes a village, ladies and gentlemen. I just saw his son whip a little girl's ass. I'm gonna whip his ass, and then I'm gonna bring him home to his dad. Let him heal
Well,
up
if
a
you
little
think
bit,
about it,
and his
though,
dad can whip his
too,
ass. That's
but
your
think
community.
about the gradual like degradation of people's respect for human life that has been going on for like decades and decades now. You
That
see
rolls
how
into a
it's
different
happening.
conversation. I don't want to take it into right now, but
I
yeah,
know,
I know what you're saying.
but yeah, it's like it's almost like you know how people like some like when you're a teenager or whatever, your universe is just like little, and you don't really have an understanding of like other people. Like sometimes you're not like empathetic in any ways, shape, or form because you're an asshole. You're a teenager, you know?
What?
And it's kind of like that mentality
Oh,
of
she's
just
having
like
buffer
not
issues.
really thinking of the other person and only thinking of yourself.
Well,
Yeah.
but what he was saying, it's like at some point you said, it takes a village. Well, where are the men at? Because if that's
Right.
if,
That's the
okay,
point.
your dad's not there. Where's Uncle Johnny and whoever, Eugene or somebody that lives next door? Like, where are the grown men that are not only like obviously helping them along their life, but setting an example? And this is the way that I don't understand that. Did all the men vanish, or is it just that there is more interest in the younger generation, their peers, etc., that they want to mimic and want to emulate? Right? Like, I don't know. It's just, and it's across the board. It's not just this one little isolated place or a certain race. It's across the board. Where are the men?
Well, that's a great point because the other day I saw a video of a girl getting robbed by a guy with a gun, and the girl took the magazine out of the gun, and you see a guy just sitting there watching it happen, and it's like, what the fuck are you? And it had to be in his early 20s because it was a college campus. Guy's just sitting there watching it happen. I'm like, what the fuck are you doing? Like, where's your balls? And it's unfortunately, society has told a good majority of men that they're not allowed to have balls. I mean, you got the subway guy who is charged for now murder because he was holding a guy for the cops, and the guy died. And then you've got people who don't get
You
involved, and
talking
then
about
everybody
Daniel
goes,
Penny?
yeah, you got Daniel Penny, who's now being charged for murder because he was trying to help somebody out. So people see this, and then you get the inverse of like, all right, I'm not going to help because God forbid something happens. The girl gets shot. I'm in the middle of trying to help her out. The gun accidentally goes off. The girl gets shot. I get charged for murder. This guy gets charged for murder. Now I'm in jail with this guy because it's like, it sucks, man. It really does suck. But you have these guys
You either save a life, become a hero, or you interfere and become the villain.
Well, here's the thing, though. It's also there's actually like one of the bases that you learn in social psychology is the study of Kitty Genovese or something, and it's about what it was is people couldn't understand. There was this woman Kitty who was in an alleyway in an apartment complex that everybody could like, and all these people could see her in this area, and she was getting beaten and robbed, and no one did anything. And they were asked why. They asked everybody who witnessed this, because there was like over 20 people that witnessed her getting beat up and pretty much killed. And they were asked why they didn't do anything. And their answer was because they thought someone else was going to do something.
Yeah.
They wanted to do something, but they thought someone else was going to do it.
They're too busy with their
and it's
phones
like that
filming it.
mentality.
Yeah, like nobody did anybody go and help that poor girl, or they were too busy filming it for World Star? Like it's infuriating, and it's enraging how we've become this society of ballless men. And I'm not talking about all of them, but I'm talking about a good majority of men have become ballless through surgery or non-surgery, that you know, it's sad to see. It's sad to see. But there are
Well,
some videos I've seen where, you know, there are men coming back to the fold, you know, and you got these girls who are like, I voted for Joe Biden. I'd never date a conservative man, but this man, he took me out and he gave me his credit card and he said, pay for it, get whatever you want. I'll be right back. And he came back. He pulled my chair out. I couldn't believe it. Yes, madam. That's what we call a man.
well, that is
You know, she
true.
probably
but-
like took the card number and she like wrote it down real quick and then like slid it back to him for
Gave it
later.
to her boyfriend.
well, there is also a different aspect in this that people don't actually talk about. We talk about fatherless homes, but what about the homes where fathers were actually there, but didn't show any kind of masculinity? Like, all right, I'm one of those. I'm a product of that. I'm not gonna lie. Okay, my dad, like growing up, my mom was an incredibly violent woman. My dad did nothing but go to work, come home, and sit in front of a TV all day. Like literally, there were times where I was grounded, and my mom would go to work, and I'd call up my friend and just be like, "Hey, man, come over and meet me at my house. We'll walk over and do whatever." But you're grounded. No, cool. It's fine. Just come over. He comes over, walks into my house without knocking, walks into my house, comes to my back room, comes gets me, lets me know he's there, and we walk out and we do whatever for 3 hours. I come back and I walk back into my room. My dad does not pay attention. Turns out,
Well,
like I went through this my
It's
entire
just
life.
a not parenting thing.
It is, but it turns out the fact that my mom was actually threatening my dad behind the scenes of everything, that if he were to parent in any way, she would call the cops on him. I did not learn that until about a year before my dad passed away.
Huh.
You also have to think of that as well, because there are outlying issues like myself that would cause somebody to not understand how to be a man, because through my dad's eyes, through the way I was raised, is the woman can do everything. I'm just a pocketbook. There is that issue
Well-
as well, that people are forgetting into that situation. And I'm not going to say that this man that beat this little girl's ass, whether he is the product of what we see throughout history, or maybe he has my situation where the dad was there, but the mom ruled the thing, because let's just
But
be
it's
honest.
still about human, like down to the nitty gritty of it, like human decency for another person.
Yeah, you've got to get to like the fundamental respect for
course.
each
Right.
other, you
Of
know.
course,
I
there
mean,
is
unless
that, but
unless that little girl was holding a gun up to his head, then he had no excuse to do that.
the little girl holding, yeah, you are correct. There was no reason he should have done that, but it does spear off into a thing of maybe this was the household he grew up in. Like literally, me and my sister and my brother, we beat each other. I remember like literally starting wrestling around with my brother when I was a kid. And then things got a little bit out of hand and we started getting more physical, while I literally wrapped my hands around my brother's throat and squeezed a little bit, realized what I was doing. I got up, took off, and he threw a broomstick between my legs. Like through a flight of fucking stairs. Perfect fucking aim, I'll admit it, because it was directly between my legs and pinned up against the outside border things. So it like tripped me perfectly. But I mean, those are the things that siblings do and everything like that. But if you're doing this kind of thing because you were raised in that situation, you know, there are different things that could lead off into this situation. And I don't want to make it just to be like kind of like just man bashing kind of thing or single mother bashing kind of thing. I just want to say there is different situations this is concerned with this kind of person, as far as that would go, to do these kinds of things. It's not just one singular thing. And people do have to realize that, because could I see somebody with my upbringing but not morality do the same? Yes. Am I
Well,
not?
my question then is,
I'm a defensive person, but could I be offensive? Fuck yes.
Well, when it comes to this case, though, like in the first set, it said this goon or whatever. So what were the other things that he was arrested for prior to this situation?
Oh no.
Did he have a history of violence,
was
like
actually
different
kind of
things like
bullshit.
that?
It was actually kind of. I'm not gonna lie. They were.
If it was,
Some of
if
them
it's
were
New
bad.
York,
Yeah, it's right here.
if it's New York, you'll never find out because
No.
they don't charge anything anymore.
Reads like a crime bingo card with public records showing dating back as 2016, ranging from theft and fraud to excessive speeding, disorderly conduct, and even littering, to going to beating a child to a fractured skull.
Those
Well,
are
isn't
those
that
are
what they
all.
call in like
Huge
cases
jump.
like escalation?
Right, because the last one says he was
Of
arrested for
crimes.
aggravated assault in April 2023. So it did kind of like, oh, no respect here, no respect there. Who cares about the public?
Right, but that is a huge jump from like disorderly conduct, littering,
sure.
and then felony assault.
But I
and then
guarantee
stomping
you
a
those-
girl's head in.
Those are crimes that were brought down. So that's what he was. Those are probably wasn't what he was allegedly charged with at first, but that's what he was convicted of, and that's what his rap sheet will say. So we have to see what he was originally charged with, which we'll never find out because, especially if it's in New York,
It'll
Alvin
come
Bragg
back
has
if you really want to look.
Alvin Bragg will it just as we saw a couple weeks ago. We put up that chart where Alvin Bragg has only gotten out of in what was it 2019? It was 1,200 convictions, and by 2024 or 2023 or something like that, it was only 285 that were
because
convicted
he's
of
not
crimes.
charging.
Yeah, so it's a massive decrease in what they charge people with because honestly, the cops don't care anymore. They've come to the point where they don't care. They rather not do the paperwork and have to worry about it because they know they might get let go or something like that. And this is what you get. They were saying, no, we're not defunding the police. You absolutely are. And it shows with all these crime statistics that you used to put people in jail for. Giuliani was right. It's the broken windows thing. You fix the broken windows and everything else falls in line. You allow them to break the windows, and the next thing you know, you got people raping a girl in the middle of a subway while everybody watches.
Yeah,
Unfortunately,
well, I mean, and that's DA, and that's the DA.
Or somebody walking
fault
into
for
a
not
subway.
bringing in.
Yeah,
and then
or
no cash
somebody.
bail stuff.
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off. Or somebody
good.
walking into a subway and threatening to kill everybody there, and then a man stands up and subdues him, and you say, "Oh, he killed him." Like there was intent to kill.
When you said subway, I thought you meant like
the sandwich. Yeah, I
Yeah.
can't.
I was like,
Still
oh
my-
my god, there's another one of these stories in a subway.
Listen, still my favorite line is when we were talking about Chris Christie on the debate stage having lunch with the other dude, and I said they're sharing a sub end to end, and you go, yeah, a meatball sandwich, and I was dead. I told you, she just snipes it in there just nonchalantly, and I choked on my drink at that point. I was gone. I laughed so hard, but yeah, it's
because he's a meatball, man.
he is. He's such a meatball. They were talking about him on the radio again today when he was like, well, Donald, we're going to call you Donald Duck. And everybody was like, oh, boy. Really?
I
That's
just
what we're
still
going?
remember how his pasty white legs looked in his bathing suit when he like closed down the beaches and he was the only one there. And, and that was the picture in New Jersey that was going around.
He's such a scumbag. I mean, he tried to be a little more conservative because he allowed the 15-round mags and stuff like that and did a lot with gun laws in New Jersey.
Come on.
Listen,
come
being
on,
East
stop.
in
Dude.
Jersey, in
It's
Jersey,
Horrible.
It would not
Now-
work around here. I don't give a damn.
You
I
can't-
understand that.
If you want to
But-
go to
oh,
the if you want to go to the gun range in New Jersey, your gun needs to be in the trunk and the ammo needs to be in the glove compartment.
yeah,
They
Let
cannot
me-
be in the same
let me
area.
you
ask
have
you
to
a
go from the gun,
question.
and you have to go from the gun home to the gun range to home.
can't
You cannot
stop.
stop
You
off
can't
for a cup of
stop.
coffee, or you can't nothing like that. Because if you do, you stop off at a Subway for a meatball sub, you are going to jail on a felony.
Let me
You
ask
can't
you a
stop
question.
at the Wawas. No
Let me
Wawas.
ask you,
for
hold
you.
on. Let me ask you a question. If you lived in my area following your laws and you saw a fucking brown bear walking down the main street of your town, what do you do?
Do you understand that this is why I live in Missouri now? And everybody goes, "Oh, why'd you move to Missouri?" I go, because Jersey sucks, and I'd rather be able to be
Yes.
armed just in case anything happens. Because if what happened at the ticker tape parade in Kansas City happened in New Jersey or New York, there would have been more lives taken. But
I
there
say
were people
this-
who were armed.
I say this because Huntsville, Alabama actually fucking had a brown bear walking down one of the main streets of its area, and everybody freaked the hell out. All right. We're also talking about an area that is incredibly fucking armed, though. All right. Like everybody, we assume every single person has a gun.
I completely understand that, and I agree
And
with
we
you. but
freaked
that's-
out over a fucking bear in the
But-
road. All right.
But in Jersey, like I was saying, Chris Christie allowed the 15-round mags, but everybody was like, "Oh, every 2A person was like, oh my god, thank you." But yeah, but then he
man,
did all that
during
other shit.
During COVID, you could not find a gun anywhere in New
No.
Jersey.
In
Nowhere.
Pennsylvania
Everyone
either.
bought them up
Yeah.
so quick.
Yeah,
Oh
you
my
couldn't
God.
find anything. 22 long rifle,
I-
22 long rifle ammunition was gone. They were
Well,
buying stuff
y'all
from
know why
from
that was,
like
though. We're
well,
going
yeah.
off on a tangent, but y'all know why that
I
was,
know.
though, right?
oh yeah.
Well, yeah,
Homeland
the
Security
government
bought
was
it.
buying up ammo and giving it to the IRS.
And Homeland
87,000 fucking agents. Ladies and gentlemen, look that up. But anyway, y'all want to talk about some more crazy shit? Let's roll off into this. As a matter of fact, the best way to pull off into that would be to let's go ahead.
Oh,
Street
no.
drug has been emerging around the nation. Haley Kennington joins to shed light on the zombie-like effects. I'm Allison Steinberg. Join me tonight at 6 Eastern.
Okay. There was a little clipping from her. I'm going to bring up your article here, Haley, as far as that
Okay.
goes. And of course, I've read it. I apologize for this point right here, but I do have to go to the bathroom. Lead us into exactly what's happening with this as far as that goes. As a matter of fact, no, let's do this. Davey,
Yeah.
I'm going to go ahead and send it the private chat. You're going to control the screen, sir.
Okay.
Oh,
Make
you
sure
get
we have all
driving
that.
privileges.
Yeah, he does.
Listen, I
When I have
have
to go to the bathroom because, you know, I do drink. But
all right. Let me share this.
no, but this is a really crazy story here, and I just want you all to walk through us or walk you through us a
Walk
little
us-
bit about what's happening as far as this, because it does lead off into something else we were talking about before. Go ahead.
All right, so harrowing zombie drug Trank sparks alarming crisis in American cities. Do you want to read it or do you want me to read it?
You read it. Go ahead.
Starting off with, I have no idea what that first word is. Xylazine.
Xylazine.
Xylazine. Yeah.
Xylazine.
You're close.
The general public may not be familiar with the drug, but it is currently failing here. Sorry.
Should
But
not
it is
read it.
currently wreaking havoc in cities across the country. Xylazine is an extremely powerful
Public
sedative.
school, people. Public school.
Listen, yes, this is Jersey, Pequannock Township High School. 268 people in the graduating senior class. I was 232. Thank you very much.
Bless.
Bless. Xylazine is an extremely powerful sedative, typically used on horses and other large animals for surgeries in veterinary clinics. But drug dealers are now marrying it with fentanyl or heroin and selling it into users nationwide. The results of this concoction, known as on the streets as Trank, is it the Trank, is causing acute anemia. Skin infection.
Anemia.
Bless your heart. Oh my gosh.
Don't
bless
you
your
dare.
heart.
Don't you dare,
Mm.
madam. I know what that means. I live in the Midwest now. I know exactly what that means.
Bless your heart.
Son of
All
a-
right, I do apologize, but
it's causing
yeah.
acute.
We haven't got through
Yeah.
the first paragraph. You're all right. You didn't miss anything.
Anemia,
Okay,
skin
cool.
infections, and death at an alarming rate in the past several years. The name Zombieland has been
Dude.
ascribed to cities.
This article is so long. That's probably good. That's probably good. It goes on and on and on and on.
She told me, please do me a favor, stop reading my words, or else I'm gonna lose my job because you read it as the worst.
No. You did great. You did great. I'm just saying it's extremely long.
Listen, according to California, even if you gave me a 47, I'd still get a D- now. So thank you.
That's probably about right.
Well, no. I mean, this is what I meant. Actually, Haley goes into it. Like, when she latches onto a subject, she will deep dive. She will give you the background. This woman gave you the background about DARPANET. All right? She came up out of nowhere and she's just like, okay, so this is a thing. Let's go back into AI. All right, DARPANET. All right, that's cool.
I mean,
fine.
You know.
Yeah, don't go past that point, David. No.
Right.
There's like there's pictures of people with like their flesh eaten.
I put a warning on it. I put like don't everybody freak out. Don't scroll any further if you're queasy and whatnot.
I still don't want to do it, but yeah, there is some very disturbing images into that. But I mean, what's going on with this? Give us a little backstory about it as far as that goes. You can take it off the screen now.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, he sees it. Yeah. Okay. So xylazine, it's actually a sedative, like he was reading, that's used in veterinary clinics for, large animals, horses, farm animals, lions, tigers, and so forth. And it actually acts as a potentiator in whatever the drug is that you may be, mixing it in with. So heroin, I mean, there's been cases where it's found in cocaine and meth and other things. So what it does is it will, extend the drug use, like the time period that you fill the drug. It will make whatever the drug is stronger. But because it's a sedative, people are, bent over and are like zombie like. I know it's bad, Davey. I know. So what he's talking about, what his reaction are there are some images there. What it does is it actually sort of eats the person's body from the inside out. There are little pustules that will come up on their skin and that, erupts at some point and can get infected. Lots of the people that use it may live on the street, or not the cleanest. So these wounds are not kept clean. And I mean, it eats all the way down to the bone. There are people that are walking around that you can see straight through their arms. You can see through their legs, their feet, whatever. And what's weird about that though, is it's not, like, let's say they inject it in their arm, it can show up in their foot, or their people that smoke it,
Wow.
they may take it in through the face, but their leg will start erupting. And, a lot of it, I've seen pictures of people where, because they were snorting these different drugs, didn't know Trink was in it. Like their whole face cavity is opened up, like lost their nose. You can see the part of their skull. So the problem with this, I mean, among other things, is that
want to make a
it's a joke. Well, make your joke. You gotta laugh.
Fine.
At
If you
gotta find some
inject it
humor.
into your arm, does your butthole fall out?
It could, I'm sure. No, that's just it. I mean, I don't know. I haven't seen pictures or heard about that happening, but what's strange is that it's not like if you put it here, that's not necessarily the section that's going to, start up. But
Right. I get what you're saying. It doesn't matter how you take it in. It's just going to affect you no matter what.
I get it. Like Viagra was supposed to help lower your blood pressure, and all of a sudden the blood pressure went to a certain area in your body. I kind of understand that, but this is just god awful.
Yeah, it's
Have
bad.
they done any research on like how fast it almost looks like it's like necrosis that's happening to these people?
No,
it is.
that's exactly right.
It definitely is.
And my question would be like, is there have like these hospitals or anything been doing any studies on, what type of drug the people were using?
Well,
like if they were using a heroin or a fentanyl, and like if it like heroin or a fentanyl, and if which one is actually making the necrosis worse.
Not so much the hospitals, but it's actually happening at the border with some of the stuff that comes across the border. They have been testing that, and it's found a lot, mainly in heroin and fentanyl. But other drugs have been, it's been found in, like I was saying earlier, meth and cocaine and stuff. Now, what causes the necrosis, they're not sure. And the worst part about it, I think, is that if let's say you run up on somebody, you're walking down the street and you see somebody passed out, whatever, you may have Narcan on you and think, oh, they're going, they're overdosing. Let me hit them with this Narcan and reverse, their high or their overdose. And
Why?
it doesn't.
Why? Hey, hold on.
Wait,
Why
no,
would a regular citizen have to do that? Well,
No, I
let's
agree.
take
I agree.
Chicago
Right.
and New York as an example, LA and everything. I understand, but why would a
Yes.
regular citizen have to
Well,
have
okay.
Narcan to just jab in somebody?
Well, all right. So we'll say Kensington Beach in Philadelphia. Everybody has Narcan. Let's just say. I'm just saying it. There's an overdose happening. Your first thought may be, oh, I do have this Narcan. Let me hit him with this to pull him out of overdose. But it doesn't work on the Tranq because Tranq is not an opiate. It's a sedative. So it would offset the overdose from the heroin or whatever it is they're ODing on, but it won't touch the Tranq. And when these people show up in the hospital, the doctors treat it the same way, and they don't know because there's 2 or 3 different tests that they have to do, blood work and all kinds of stuff to actually
Mhm.
specifically
Okay.
test for xylazine, and they don't know. So they're treating these patients as if they're opiate overdose victims, and they're not, and they're hitting them with Narcan,
they're
hitting them
still
with Narcan. And you
Because
can't
they're still
reverse it.
lethargic from the right.
They
Oh,
don't know how
that's
to reverse
terrible.
the xylazine. They don't
What
know.
happened
There's no quick, reversal out of a xylazine overdose.
What happened to the good old days when we used to do ketamine and that was fine? Like, what is this?
Well,
Like,
you know what? This is the main component. No, this is the main component in ketamine. This is the number one
Oh,
ingredient in ketamine.
Is this?
Oh.
Yes.
Holy! I've never. Like, okay, it was a
Dude,
joke.
now you
because
understand why motherfucking
I've never done it.
shamans
I've
were
known
tripping.
people. I know people who've done ketamine, and but this is like. Could you imagine going to Narcan somebody and you just go through their chest? Like all of a sudden now you're being tried for murder because you're trying to. Here we go again. Circle back to trying to help somebody. That's why people don't want to touch anybody
Right.
because you never know. You want to fucking help somebody and get them back to life. You just all of a sudden you stab them with an EpiPen. You go straight through their sternum. What the fuck
Well, this
is
stuff
going
is
on
like
Take a
here,
breath.
folks?
Take a breath. Take a breath. Hold on.
Well, this stuff is like $6, between $6 and $20 a pound on the black market. People can get it. You don't have to be certified. You don't have to be a veterinarian. You don't have to show anything. You can order it, and that's
Oh,
what they're
so it was
doing.
a
They're
whole-
taking it and mixing it. Yeah, they're mixing it
Right.
in. They're cutting the drugs with it, and it really started to boom around 2020 during the lockdowns when things weren't easily moved around and stuff. And now that it's on the streets like that, there's a very low percentage of whatever the drug is that you're actually trying to pick up because it's cut so hard with xylazine. So people will do this. They end up with these injuries. It hurts. It wears off a lot faster. Like the not shelf life, but whatever it's called, the time frame of when you're high, it wears off. So they go back quicker to go, to re-up, and because they're in pain. So it gets to the point where they don't
Ah.
care that they can see straight through their forearm because it hurts so bad. They want something to take the pain away. And of course the drug dealers are making, hand over fist.
Right.
Do you think that this stuff is going on to kind of get rid of certain people? Like you think that because like you said, it started to
Yeah.
go
Yeah.
off,
Hold
go
on. Hold
off
on.
during
Hold
the
on.
pandemic.
Rhonda's right. Narcan is administered
Okay,
through the nose,
so you
not
now you
through a
put
jab.
you go through their face. Even better. Now you're still considered murdering them, Rhonda. It don't matter.
I
It's
mean,
murder.
You're trying to give a little nasal squirt there, and you're touching brain.
Listen, did you see the
It's still
pictures?
the
Did you
same.
see the pictures? It looks like you
No.
could blow on
No.
some of them and it'll fly away. Okay, it's graphic.
It's bad. It's really bad. These are
But-
not the worst ones. I was trying to find something where I could show and be like, yeah, this is it, without people completely losing their minds. There's way worse than this.
Top two.
Yeah,
My wife owns one, which is a big ass Baby Yoda. That's it. Davey.
Oh, I have Hagrid up there. Hold on.
He has multiples.
I have my Shaun of the Dead. Oh no, that's Doctor. I got where's my Shaun of the? Oh, right there. I got Shaun of the Dead, Emmett Brown, John
He's a
Winger from
child.
Stripes, and What About Bob? I love. Listen, hi, that's my ceiling.
That's your forehead.
I love my favorite. I like to collect Funko Pops that actually like have meaning to them. So I don't have a lot, but I bought Amanda hers. I made Amanda into a Funko Pop.
No,
Because
but-
you can do that now. But yeah, But I think, to be honest with you, do you think that this is to get rid of a certain population? Because a lot of this stuff, what about Bob? A lot of this stuff is started right after the pandemic. So like people were trying to get their fix and they're high because, stuff wasn't moving through the country and stuff like that. So they were trying to find whatever they could. So, and they kind of, with the pandemic, seemed like they were trying to take some people out. So do you think this is another way for, the crack epidemic, the government was trying to take people out? Do you think this is kind of another thing like that?
Me?
Are you talking about
Haley.
cemetery stuff?
I mean, I wouldn't doubt it. I would lean more towards the amount of people that would be picking up to use this drug. I would think that, there's probably a really large percentage of these people who were once on opiates. I look more towards the opiate era, the crisis that we have with the opiates, where everybody's doctor was giving them out and they were getting hooked on that, because these people, you don't wake up one day and you're like, I'm going to go pick up some fentanyl and drink. And, I don't disagree with what you're saying. No, I don't disagree with what you're saying, but they're like in small pockets, right? Like there's Philadelphia, there's San Francisco, there's Skid Row, Miami. Actually, they found a lot in Miami recently, but so there's these little small pockets. So to your point, it will sort of keep people in one area. Like in Kensington Beach, there's live streams of Kensington Beach where you can just watch on the corner and watch the people do their thing and come and go. And there's cops on every corner that stand there and they don't do anything for the same reasons you were saying earlier. They don't get paid enough. They know that if they step in, they're used to this kind of behavior. So to a small degree, it keeps people sort of caged in the same way that we did when the projects were being built. It kept a certain subset of people in a location so that the rest of society sort of could move about and do their business and not look at the dirty side of things, I guess. So yes and no, but I would look right. But I mean, I put a lot more blame on the opiate crisis and that, the stuff, because that's where all the deaths were coming from for how long. And then that fentanyl, it was fentanyl, that's like they're shifting gears over to that.
I mean, you do have a point, because when people take things like that, they want to hide the last for as long as they can, especially for their monies. So if xylazine is going to drag out the process, I mean, it only makes sense from a drug dealer's point of view to cut it down with xylazine if that's going to stretch my product.
But here's the thing, and this is where my belief is that if
I will admit this, hold on, Davey, I do have to show this. Joe, that was great. I understand.
I didn't say it. I don't know what Joe said, but
give the drugs to Mormons and tell them they'll find God. Problem solved. Joe,
but you have to understand, Joe.
Joe likes to throw little things in there just to. Joe's hilarious, by the way. Joe is
one of the very few people that just I know full fucking well he understands, but he picks at me until
so much that Rich will literally go on a diatribe for half an hour.
That's the problem.
Rich will go on a full screen diatribe about how stupid Joe is. This is how much Joe gets under Rich's skin. It's like Joe, relax. He's just trying to do it to get, and then Joe will go, oh, I left for about 10 minutes. You still talking about me? All right, I'll be back in about 5 minutes. And we'll just keep going. And Joe will be like, I just had some Hot Pockets. They were really good. Are you still talking about this? Like, are we still doing this? And Rich's face is bright red and he's angry. And Joe will be like, well, I'm back
the
now.
Angry dude on the internet, man, because I know Joe knows better, but he just picking with me, and I fall for it. He's like one of the only ones like I know I'm gonna go into an argument where I'm going to fight, and he's gonna draw me the fuck in every time. And I fall for it. He's just one of those things, because I know he knows better, but he's just fucking with me.
Yeah. So what I was saying was, here's where I differ. Like with the whole opiate crisis and all that stuff. Like, yes, your doctor is prescribing you, and yes, they were overprescribing people, but at the same time, like, you're paying for health insurance, right? And if you overdose, like. It's on you.
Davey out.
If you're on, it's on you. Like we've come so far as to where we're quick to blame other people. We're quick to blame the doctor. We're quick to blame this person. No, you're the person that decided that's what you wanted to do, and it's your personal right to overdose if you want to. Like, and for the government to step in and say, hey, no, you can't have this amount of prescription drugs for until this amount of time, or that should be something that you and your doctor should talk about. And if your doctor doesn't feel that way, then okay, then your doctor goes, no, I think I'm done prescribing you that and whatnot. I don't, if the doctor goes, hey, I don't feel like I should see you anymore, that's fine. Or if the doctor gives you enough to offer yourself and it's what you want to do, that's your personal right. I mean, Canada is allowing people to off themselves nowadays all they want. But for the government to come in and to step in and go, hey, I don't think you should do this, I don't think that's right. And
Well,
I
hold
think
on,
that,
hold
but a
on.
big problem though, I would assume, and Haley, you can tell me if I'm wrong, is a lot of these people don't know that it's being cut with this.
no, but I mean, like,
Yeah.
I'm just talking about the
I mean, it's fentanyl and
drugs.
heroin. You're going to be arrested if you try to buy it legally.
I'm just talking about the epidemic of opiates that everybody was
Oh, okay.
prescribed and all that stuff. And people
yes,
now
you-
there's
you
laws
have a point.
laws from preventing people from going from overdosing on opiates. Like, no, this is America. If I want to overdose on opiates, let me overdose. Then and my doctor says, okay, that's my prerogative. That's what I pay for my health care for. No longer have to pay for health care if I OD, and I understand that, kids are overdosing and whatnot. But that's, once again, that's the parents to make sure that their kids aren't touching it. We're taking responsibility away from the people who should be responsible and
Yes.
giving it to the government, and the government going, well, you can't do this now. You can't do that now. So I just think, and then when you do that, you have people who turn to this stuff and now they're decaying in front of people's eyes.
To Davies,
Well, yeah.
To Davies' defense, before anybody goes, to Davies' defense, there is an actual country that decriminalized every single drug. It ran rampant through their whole country for like 3 to 5 years. Their overdose clinics and everything was overrun for that. And then all of a sudden it quit. And they have the lowest drug use across the world. Why? Because everybody was like, okay, fine. I can
They had a rum
legally
springer. That's
do
what happened.
this. I can do whatever the hell I want to.
Yeah.
That's cool. Now I'm overdosing. Oh, wait. People are dying because they can't get the overdose. Okay, maybe this isn't a good idea.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, when it comes to the prescription drugs and
I think
everything
that was
too, you're
Peru.
taking out
I'm
the
not-
third person element, which is the doctors.
Yeah, but
like,
yeah, but the doctors are the drug pushers here in this country for that.
well, no, I
They made us
understand
think
that,
of-
and I think that there needs to be a better relationship between the doctors and their patients when it comes to there's problems, but just to say like, oh, you can take as many pills as you want and the doctor should prescribe them to you, I don't think that's.
I mean, they were pushing
But
out
hey,
That
at
was
least
what I
they
thought
haven't-
you were just
they were pushing
saying,
out-
and I was.
they were
and I
pushing
just
out a-
wanted to-
yeah, they were pushing out a vaccine that nobody had any idea about, and the doctors were pushing it and telling you to go take it in the middle of a 7-Eleven parking lot. They had no problem with that. But if I want to feel
For a
good,
cheeseburger.
and yeah, oh my
Well,
god,
the protections for opiates were put in place to protect the doctors, the pharmaceutical companies, and it had nothing to
Right,
do with the
right.
people. They don't care. They don't care whether or
No,
not you eat them all the first day or it lasts you 3 months. It doesn't matter.
right.
Those specific things weren't to protect the patient.
Okay.
If you think
Right.
the actual the medical industry in this company
And that was
is
the
meant to
Sackler
heal
family
you,
too, right?
you have a
As what?
problem because if they heal you, you are no longer a customer.
Exactly right.
Right.
Exactly right. And that's why some of the more holistic things that can help you, the FDA tries to shut down.
75 milligram fentanyl.
70
God.
Okay.
I was
So I was in a pain clinic for over 15 years. The very first day that I walked into the pain clinic, I've got degenerative disc disease. I have 4 fractured discs. They
too.
gave me fentanyl. Do you really?
Yeah,
Sucks,
I got.
doesn't it?
Oh,
Well-
we had a rolling storm today, and I was
Yeah.
miserable. Like I
Yeah.
was miserable. I've been miserable for the last 3 days. No matter what I take, it's just because of the way the weather is. My spine feels like it's collapsing on itself.
Yeah, I know.
and it's horrible. It's
Well, I
You
was just
definitely
I was
don't want to be in my area for a long period of time.
I was reading her comment though about her mom being on cancer and 75 micrograms. I was on 150 micrograms every other day for almost 15 years. That was not including all the stuff that they gave me for breakthrough pain. Okay, I've run the gambit on that situation, and I've been off everything for it'll be a decade in fall. Um, it's torture like nobody's business, and it's nothing I wish on anybody. And as someone who feels like they were actually a victim of the opiate crisis, I've got some personal beef with it, and I think when I see things like this on the streets, where it's like, what I was saying earlier, people don't wake up one day and decide to go down that route, and certainly not to the point where their limbs are falling off and they're like, this is bad for me, let me go pick up again. Like it doesn't work that way. And I do put a lot of blame on from the very late 90s, early 2000s up till about 10 years ago or so, where they were pushing it and pushing it and pushing it, and it didn't matter, and you didn't have a limit of the 30 days of when you could go back, and you would just get more and more and more. And every time I went back, they upped and increased my stuff. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
How are you feeling? Is it still working for you? Yeah, it's okay. Well, let me just give you more. So it's something where it's like this huge cycle that you can't get off of. And I mean, people do. I cut cold turkey, and it was horrible. It was absolutely horrible. But because I didn't want to be hooked on methadone for the rest of my life, or Suboxone or whatever, because to your point, it is a
Mhm.
cycle. It's just this vicious cycle. And if they get rid of it one time, you're no longer a patient, right? Like you're no longer needing them to stay on the line. So it's sad to see this kind of stuff, because this is like just one level of it. Like, what is next? You know what I mean? Like, what are they going to come out with next that is going to be even worse? I don't know how much worse you could get than this. It's pretty bad, but people don't know what they're looking at. They think that people are just overdosing. They're just high on whatever they picked up, and they're killed over. No, they just took something for a tiger. They're
Yeah.
it's insane.
Well, it's funny because I was talking to Mama J before. It kind of coincides, but I when I say I'm dumb, like I have no like I don't know what you call it, I don't understand things like around me sometimes. My old doctor
Autistic?
used to probably my old doctor was prescribing my doctor back in Jersey went to jail for over prescribing people,
Mhm.
and I
Yes.
was sitting there
That happens
and
a
I
lot.
was getting
Mhm.
because I've had this back pain for a long time, and so like I was getting prescription meds, and I was sitting there going, well, I don't want to upset the apple cart, and no, I'll just take these or whatever it was. And
Yes.
I didn't naive. Yeah, I'm so naive. And I didn't understand it. And I was like, I thought like, because like I said, my back hurts, and I take a little bit. I don't take it much, just to and I'm like, oh, not knowing this dude was just giving them out like Tic Tacs. I'm sitting there like fearing like he's gonna take me off, and and all this stuff, and I'm just like I'm just so like. And I was telling Mama J that before, that my girlfriend doesn't have to worry about me cheating because I have no idea if somebody's hitting on me or not. But that's the kind of thing it is. Like the doctor's just
Look.
like he's giving away things like it's free reign. The guy went to jail, and I'm sitting there going like, well, I mean, I don't want to ask for more because I don't want him to take me off this and go, hey, you're getting a little too addicted to this, and I'm just like, no, I just need this pain to
But
go away because
the thing about it is the doctors knew that it was all highly addictive. Obviously the people, the drug companies knew it was highly addictive. The doctors, and then the methadone clinic people, the rehabs, all of that, they're just holding hands singing Kumbaya and passing you around. And it's sick. That is so sick to do to people who have physical problems, who, whether they got in a wreck. I was born with what I have, whatever your ailment is, and you're just trying to survive and like raise your quality of life to where you can function as a human being, and you're taken advantage and thrown into this cycle that you can't. I mean, it's a lot of people never make it out. A lot of people are still going to the clinic, or they've gone to rehab 18 times, or they're still on it. It's just they knew what they were doing.
Well, I got into a head-on collision at 18 with a drunk driver. The guy was drunk and he hit us head on, and then less than a year later, I was at Staples and fell out of a chair that broke and smashed my back. And then my actual 9 to 5 is a back-breaking job. So like it's basically just hell on my back constantly. But yeah, it's you're right. I mean, and to be honest with you, I believe that now that no longer they don't have the opiate thing, I believe that they're pushing these children to get these surgeries to continue the cycle of having people on the hook for medications, all these hormones and testosterone and all this stuff, and these surgeries now with kid. No, your kid can take these. So they've, as you said, they've moved on from that now. Now it's, hey, your kid is trans.
Yep.
I think they need to be did gender reassignment surgery. And by the way, they're going to have to take these pills from the time they're 8, 9 to the time they pass away.
Well, not only that, but the complications from those surgeries will keep them as a lifelong patient.
Yeah.
They're literally doing what I just saw there. They're doing to your children, and that's grotesque. That's grotesque.
Well,
If you
I
see
mean,
some
the
of these,
puberty blockers are the same thing as castration.
yeah, chemical castration.
Chemical castration. They're using the same thing, and they call it puberty blockers to shove into your child. But I do want to touch on one thing before we move on to the next one here. Just Rhonda says, I've had fibromyalgia for over 12 years. I've refused all opiate painkillers, and there are too many addicts in my direct family. I don't trust myself. Look, honestly, Rhonda, I understand that. Like, throughout my life, like, the only thing I've done willfully is weed and alcohol. Okay? I was drugged once with Molly. Oh, okay. I did shrooms once willfully, as far as that goes. And I did painkillers. Like, Loratab were my thing. Loratab 10s. I felt myself literally becoming addicted to that. Like, I don't have an addictive, like, this shit right here, I can put it down. Like, that's not a problem.
That was the only thing I couldn't put down. That I could put down anything else.
Yours was alcohol, mine was Loratab. Like, I could feel myself becoming addicted to it, and I was like, no.
Like, you have no idea. Like, my back has been hurting so badly lately. I'm just like, should I go to? Nope. You know where it's gonna go. You know where it's gonna lead you. And I thank God. I thank my higher power. I thank God I went to AA for as long as I did, and I heard the stories. And if you need it, go. Because I'm guaranteeing you, give it some time, and you will feel odd at first, but you will thank your higher power later, because it's needed, But yeah,
Oh, I also want to tell
I'm just gonna
just
say
Rhonda
this. Hold
too.
on.
There's
Hold on.
a
I'm just gonna say this, Rhonda. You're a pussy.
and also there's a documentary
around.
about the opioid crisis. It's called The Pharmacist.
Mhm.
And it's about the
Right.
pharmacist who kind of like it was so good. He would videotape these drug clinics and the long lines that were out of there, and he would send it to the FBI and different things like that during the whole opioid crisis. So that's a really I think good documentary to watch too. I think it's on Netflix
Well, yeah.
or something.
All right, so
It
we're
is.
gonna do a hard segue because there's no way we're gonna bring what we were talking about before as far as children, unless you want to talk about brain injuries. Hey, actually, that was a great one. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I'm just gonna play this full screen for y'all.
Tonight, the NYPD issuing an alarming warning on the eve of Passover, saying in a bulletin obtained by ABC News that extremist groups may view the holiday as an opportunity to perpetrate acts of violence or intimidation against Jewish faith-based communities. Though the document cites no specific threats, it adds Jewish people and institutions continue to be the target of violent attacks, targeted harassment, hate crimes, and threats, especially since the onset of the Israel-Hamas war. It comes after a rabbi associated with New York City's Columbia University told Jewish students to go home this week following pro-Palestinian demonstrations on campus. Writing today in an email, Columbia University's public safety and the NYPD cannot guarantee Jewish students' safety. Those protests began after the school's president was grilled on Capitol Hill about anti-Semitism on campus.
There's evidence of anti-Semitism among professors on your faculty?
We have seen some cases and there have been consequences.
More than 100 demonstrators arrested on campus Thursday. The White House saying the Department of Education has launched an investigation into the incident.
When students are subject to hostile environments because of their faith or ethnicity, schools must act. Students must be safe to learn.
And Lindsay, tonight Columbia is responding, saying that they are listening to the concerns of Jewish students and providing additional support, adding that students have a right to protest, but not to disrupt campus life or intimidate others. Lindsay?
And students at several universities are now planning rallies in solidarity with Columbia protesters.
Yeah.
All right. We
they're
lost Mama
really-
J for a second. She'll be back.
They really are doing that. After this Yale student jabbed my eye with his flag, I tried to yell and run after him, but the people in the video made a human blockade to stop me from confronting my assaulter. They stood in front of me in a line throughout the night. This is the girl. Her name is Sahara. If you were on Twitter around a couple days ago, this guy jabbed her in the eye with that pro-Palestinian flag. And then they made a human chain around her to keep her from leaving the area, from going into the area and corralling her into where they wanted her to leave. Like, no, they're not. They're not. They don't care, because the COO of the university wasn't allowing pro-Israel people, which was one of the faculty members, into that courtyard. I believe it was Columbia.
Yep.
And they weren't allowed into the area. And they said, "Oh, we can walk you around to the other side." Why? He's a teacher. He's a professor. He's Jewish. He's not allowed in there. They lie, and that's what. Listen, our shirts say it. Don't be a mainstream minion, and we still stay true to that to this day. We believe it on Off Label too. Don't be a mainstream minion. Go out and do your own research.
Mama J is back.
Don't listen. Don't listen to what they tell you. You know, don't even listen to what we tell you. To be honest with you,
let me ask you a question for everybody here. Can I get a little bit mean?
No. This is your show. What do you want?
I mean, I'm asking, can I get a little bit mean with this situation?
Of course.
I don't think they're holding back.
Oh no, it's the cigarette. Oh no.
I know.
He's got that dice
right.
thing. He's got that dice thing to him. He has to just go around his head, and he just
Andrew Dice Clay.
you can't fit it with
I'll have
Hickory
to practice
Dickory
that one.
Dock.
But no. Hold on. You're talking about, like, this is going to bring off into the story the further we fucking go with this whole situation here. You're talking about a situation in which you created this cult-like fucking mob to go after certain things. Okay? Then you give it a life of its own through BLM and Antifa.
Mm-hmm.
And then you're just like, it's distinct from us. They're doing their own thing. We have some control, but we create a fucking monster. Mary Shelley's fucking Frankenstein. Let's bring that. We create a fucking monster through throwing everything together. You're talking about BLM, you're talking about Antifa, all types of different beliefs thrown together into one fucking mob. And you don't
It's not different beliefs. Hold on. That's why
for
you're
half
wrong.
a
It's
second.
not.
Now, hold on. You don't
Different
think for
beliefs.
half a second it's not going to bite you in the ass. Now, I understand there are different factions in everything that is involved in this, but one underlying thing is concerned. The Democrat. I hate to take it political, but we're going to do it any goddamn way because that's what the show is. The Democratic Party created every bit of this, and now it's biting them in the ass.
Listen, it's not a thing. It's just an idea. They said it. It's not an actual mob. It's an idea.
Which is why
Did you not see that idea? Stab her in the face.
Which is why they were actually organizing. Antifa was organizing right there on Facebook, and they blamed Twitter for it because Elon Musk bought Twitter. Yeah, that's not a fucking thing, right? Anyway, no. Look, I'm tired of it, and I'm going to show you why.
Hold on. This
so
is
that we can start to push them out of the camp. One step forward.
mind you, same people who say Trump supporters are sheep.
Yeah.
Another step forward. We ask that you please respect our privacy and our community guidelines, which you have so far disrespected.
Wait a
Community
minute.
fucking guidelines?
Is this
Wait a
social
minute.
media? I'm confused.
Wait a minute. They don't want a border, but they want borders here. Excuse me, sir. You make no fucking sense.
I mean, you do have a damn good point with that. They have borders socially, but they don't have borders physically.
They literally
Hold
have a
up.
human chain as a border to their camp, yet no border at the south.
Oh, yo, mother. All right. I'm going to be a dick.
And leave our camp. One step forward.
My favorite is when they come up and start whispering. Watch.
Have you gotten enough video? Because I look very pretty.
That's staged. And cut. And all you see now is
You're all here because we're here. Why are you giving us
We
that
were here
power?
before you came here.
I understand that, but you're doing what
Repeat
you're
after me.
You're doing what you're doing.
I'm bored. We would like you to leave.
No, they're actually blocking students from going into that courtyard. The students that are filming this are the ones trying to get through the courtyard, and they're blocking them from going into the courtyard.
And that's what you see right there, where he's just like, repeat after me. That's what you see.
You just did that for me.
Repeat after me. I'm bored.
My name's Aiden.
We're just actually trying to have a community meeting in a second.
Right, it's the same
You
thing.
guys have a conversation.
Well, we're asking you nicely for please leave.
Why can't we be on the lawn?
Because you're not respecting the safety.
I'm on the lawn. You know I pay to go here, and I pay for this lawn to be manicured. I pay for the lights to be on, and if you're a student, you're also paying for that. And so we're all equally allowed to utilize these resources. So why can't I be on this lawn?
I'm not saying you can't. I'm just asking you if you can leave.
It seems like they just don't like that they're videotaping it.
That's exactly what it is. Look, all right. Like I said, I'm going to go hard on this motherfucker. All right, you're going to sit there and tell me throughout everything we've fucking seen, you're going to sit there and tell me that ain't no paid shit.
Oh, yeah.
These
It's
kids
more of
come
the
up here,
same.
repeat after me, I'm bored, everybody fucking chants, and then all of a sudden it's just like, hey, we've done a little spectacle. Could you leave?
No, it's one of those. It's that, you know, they're there for a point, and you're not allowed in there to film them because you're jeopardizing their safety. Yet they're being there and actually assaulting people, but they don't want to be filmed assaulting people. So you're going to get them in trouble. So they don't want to be filmed, and they're going to do whatever they can to get you out.
Exactly.
Half
And
of
that's
them
what
don't
they
know
do.
why they're
I mean,
there.
look at the Riley Gaines situation.
Oh
Y'all
my
remember that? How she was
Where she was
speaking
held
of that
hostage
little.
for like 4 hours.
Yeah. how she was speaking, and they're just like trans rights or human rights, literally assaulted the woman, had her kidnapped, and they're just like, give us all $50 or some shit like that.
No. $5.
Oh,
A piece.
$5. I'm sorry. Give us all $5 fucking
They wanted a
dollars.
foot long, bringing it back to somebody.
They wanted a
For
ransom of
kidnapping a
$5.
woman who just said, hey, I don't want to swim next to a dude who has a dick.
But Haley makes a point.
And what would you say is the main goal with tonight's protest?
I think the goal is just showing our support for Palestine and demanding that NYU stops. I honestly don't know all of what NYU's doing.
Is there something that NYU's doing?
I really don't know. I'm pretty sure they're... Do you know what NYU's doing? About what? About Israel. Why are we protesting here?
Palestine will be free!
I wish I was more educated. I'm not either.
Oh.
I came from Columbia. I was there.
That's what I mean. It doesn't take
And
any.
now they said NYU students.
Oh, I think it froze.
Oh, we're good on this side.
Okay, I'm back.
And what would you say is the
But by the way,
Okay, now I'm caught up.
do you see the thing behind her head? Party for Socialism and Libertarianism.
Liberation.
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 No, it's liberation. Yeah.
Yeah, I was.
Yeah.
But no, that's just it. They don't know why they're there. A lot of them probably walked up on it. It's a hive mentality, but like, oh, what's going on? Okay, yeah, that happens all over the place for all kinds of different reasons, where people want to either feel like they're a part of a group, or it's something that they can. I don't know. They're lonely. I mean, it could be something as simple as that.
Nerds.
Well, hold
Well,
the
I mean,
fuck
you
up.
say
It
they
reminds
don't-
me
they
of the
don't-
black squares.
Hold on.
The black
When you-
squares on Instagram.
Yeah.
I can
all
I
over
can
again.
understand like BLM and Antifa being a national thing. Like they did go international, but the only thing we heard about really from everything is national. Okay, as far as that goes. Ladies and gentlemen, let's not forget that motherfuckers ran up in BlackRock's headquarters. Yeah, look up that story because that's awesome. Number one. But we're talking about like these children who have no idea what the hell's going on. They latch onto these things because they've been pushed into this black hole of just dumb shit. I mean, weren't these the same motherfuckers that were eating Tide Pods though?
Yeah, like 4 years ago. Absolutely. While they were still in high school. Absolutely.
Snorting
Well,
condoms,
but-
shooting alcohol-infused tampons up their ass like it's a thing to do, sticking fucking V8 popsicle sticks in your ass and letting them melt and thinking you have a period. These are the same people.
Well, the wonderful gentleman who said he was pretty, he's got a message for everybody. I just want to let you know.
And so be glad, be grateful that I'm not just going out and murdering Zionists. I've never murdered anyone in my life, and I hope to keep it that way.
Sir, I haven't either.
Where did his nails go? He had like super long nails in the other video, and I wanted to make a point about that. Notice who like
It was
their
cut.
front man is, right?
Mhm.
I mean,
Mhm.
he
Mhm.
checks all of the boxes. I mean, it's so astroturfed. It's we've seen this too many
You can't
times. to
say
be
that and a black
fooled.
man be there, Haley.
No, my bad.
Hold on.
I didn't say afroturfed.
Afroturfed.
I said astroturfed. God
Look, I
almighty.
brought it up from the beginning, but this is a perfect segue. I brought it up from the beginning, and I had to ask it, and y'all is just like, all right.
Well,
fine,
I
this
have
is
what.
cool,
Wait,
whatever.
I want to do one more video before we get to that one. I want to just finish. I know. One more
That's
video.
what you meant.
because-
That's what you meant. I
yeah,
understand
have
that
one-
now.
because it's perfect. Because
Okay.
all the people who have been in Congress who have been telling Bibi Netanyahu that they should stop going after Gaza and Palestine and all this and everything like that. Pro-Palestinian protesters have gathered outside Senate leader Chuck Schumer's home, prompting mass arrests. Currently, hundreds of pro-Palestinian protesters and other activists have gathered in large numbers in Brooklyn, New York, blocking the street and the entrance of Senate leader Chuck Schumer's home. Multiple New York law enforcement agencies, along with strategic response groups, are on the scene, making numerous arrests as protesters clash with police. So far, reports indicate 100 arrests with more underway. Gee, they didn't arrest that many people like Colombia. I wonder what's different about this situation than every other situation. I wonder.
I'm going to go ahead and take you off right there. Here's the thing. Look, I love this. I love this fucking situation because y'all don't understand. Like, I watch these Senate hearings. I watch these committee hearings. I go through this. Like, Senate, I swear to fucking God for everybody out there, unless it's something major, the Senate is literally Chuck Schumer saying, hey, here's this bill. I oppose it. I agree with it. Here's the vote. Oh, for everybody present, well, just Chuck Schumer. And then it's voted on. Hey, I just want to say there is an absence of a quorum here, which means there's no opposition to this. That's how most of the bills through the Senate are passed. What are you going to do? Are you going to put fucking turtle Mitch McConnell, who literally strokes out every time he gets in front of the camera, which is the Senate fucking leader for the Republican Party? Are you going to put Mitch McConnell in front of Chuck Schumer in a fucking debate?
Mama J?
That's how your Senate works.
So, all right. So I just want to make something clear real quick. Colombia started their protest like closer towards like the weekend or whatever last weekend. The reason why it blew up is because 100 students were arrested in Colombia for the protest. So then all these other schools decided to protest too in solidarity, not with just with Palestine, but also with Colombia.
It was Yale. It was Yale, UC Berkeley, all those, you know.
Oh, a bunch of places. UNC Charlotte, like not very far from me.
Meanwhile, ladies and gentlemen,
they've pushed so many people so far to the left, they have gone Trump.
I'm just going to go ahead and play it for y'all.
Started from the beginning.
Black MAGA, Black MAGA, Black MAGA, Black MAGA, Black MAGA, Black MAGA, Black MAGA. Donald Trump, yeah, that's my president. Donald Trump, the first black president. Ever seen a black patriot? Yeah, we exist. The Democrats use my color just to stay rich. Indict my president, you might as well indict me too. Call me your Uncle Tom, but really what Obama do?
Okay,
Why does that old white man have a Hitler stash, by the way? Excuse me.
I want to talk about the white man too. He looked really awesome, actually. He's the one I would want to hang out with. Look at him. Like, where did he come from? He's got a fanny pack.
It's a me, Mario.
Right? It is Mario.
Well, see,
I will give somebody $1,000 if that guy's a fucking plumber. Oh my God, that'd be great. That guy's a fucking plumber.
Dun, 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 dun.
I wanted to bring this up because this is literally like.
Sorry.
I want to go down a deeper rabbit hole than what I'm about to push right here with y'all with this, but this is literally the grassroots black community now. And I'm not even playing like that. That's just being flashy kind of situation as far as that goes. Like my neighborhood, I live in a black community. Me and my wife are the only white people here. Okay. I have gone from Biden Harris, me being harassed to motherfucker, you were right. This is
I don't think they used the motherfucker word, but okay.
Let's put it this way. When a black man chases kids away from attacking you while he's wearing 2 fucking knee braces and a cane. All right.
I'm just saying, I don't think they used the word motherfucker. They used another word that starts with another letter after the motherfucker.
Well, yeah. All right. But I just want to bring that up because y'all don't. There has been, y'all can look this up as far as like the studies and everything like that. Like there has been an increase in the black community for Trump as far as this is concerned because of the fact that we come across shit like this and supposedly this is okay. Oh, wait. I hit the wrong button. There we go.
Out. This is the COO of the university. Are we not letting the media in? What? Can you back up, please? My card has been deactivated? Why? Can you back up, please? Wait. Everybody, my card has been deactivated. This is Cass Holloway, the COO. This is Gerald Lewis. They were in the meeting where I asked them if Hamas is a terror organization, and they couldn't say that it is a terrorist organization. Why? I'm a professor. Why can I?
Shy,
No. Speak out loud so the media
Shy,
can hear.
we are willing to take you to the math lawn.
No, I am a professor here.
Alumnus. We have a
Wait, everybody quiet. I am a professor here. I have every right to be everywhere on campus. You cannot let people that support Hamas on campus and me, a professor, not go on campus. Let me in now. Let us in.
I'm just gonna end it there. He kind of does have a point though. I mean, if you're gonna let people protest and be pro Hamas, you have to really let the pro Israel in.
My
Wasn't he a
question is
professor?
whether or not the reason
Mhm.
why they
Yes,
didn't
he
let
was
him
a
in is
professor.
because they were worried about safety concerns for them.
That is a
I'm
problem in
just-
of itself, is it not? Then
I know. I'm just devil's advocate. Like
That
yes,
was my first
Joe
thought
is
when I
right.
saw
He
the
was
clip,
fired
too.
a day earlier.
right.
Oh well.
Oh.
But
So you
then
can't be on the
again-
property. Maybe that
then
was part
again,
of the.
though, then again, y'all, okay, so he can't get in the fucking gates. This is a professor, as far as that goes, who was fired because of his pro-Israel stance. I mean, there's a lot
Is
of
that
questionable things in. I mean, there hasn't really been a lot of that has come out about this so far. Like, this is brand new kind of situation. Like,
But do you believe
from
would
what
you
they're
believe
saying
anything?
as far as that goes, his pro-Israel stance, and all of a sudden you got pro-Hamas people putting encampments outside of universities. Number one, I did say I was going to go hard, and I am going to go hard because you created the shit in the first place, and now your shit is in your own damn face, literally because the mob you created goes after one particular thing and does not let up until they win that one particular thing. Kind of like a cult. You
But
let
even-
the cult fucking loose and you had no control over it.
But
This
even
is
if-
the problem.
Even if you found out that he was fired the day before, it's kind of like when Joe Biden goes to Sheetz and then all of a sudden they have an anti-discrimination lawsuit right after the president goes and visits there. Like, are you going to believe anything that they
Because
say?
nobody
He
was
fired
kissing
for
his
sexual
ass.
assault, or he was fired for this. Like, it just so happens to coincide. Everything just always happens to coincide with things that are just happening, and it's nonsense bullshit. It's nonsense bullshit constantly.
I'm not
Rhonda,
sure
you're
myself either.
fine.
Rhonda,
I'm loving the chat.
you're in
Are you
good
kidding me?
You're in good hands right now. I promise you that. We're not mature ourselves. But
Rhonda, I made a joke about pushing through a guy's skin. Okay, don't worry about it. Trust me, I've said a lot worse on this program.
no, but as far as all right. Haley, I want your input on this as far as that goes, because y'all gave me the ability to go hard, so I'm still kind of keeping it back. But
Haley, your thoughts?
What on the entire thing about the professor? About
Well,
what
no.
part? We went from that to like Biden and Sheets
Yeah,
to discriminatory. I don't know where I'm at.
I told,
Sorry, I really don't.
You know full well we're like ADD. I told you this
No,
was
I'm
going to be.
Yeah, I'm
No,
just
but-
trying to direct me.
No, like what
as
are
far
your
as,
thoughts
like,
about
the-
the whole situation with the protests, and do you think that this was, I mean, we know it's organized,
She literally.
but like
blanked
why
us
is
out.
it like why is it one-sided? Why do you think it's all okay for it to be pro Palestine when just a couple years ago everybody was saying don't be anti-Semitic? Like the switch was quick.
Yeah.
Like I don't understand how, I mean, how we got there so quickly as to don't be anti-Semitic to now it's okay to be anti-Semitic. because there's a cause. Like, do you think we're going to have another summer of love this year?
It's an election year. So yes,
Who?
definitely. But we look at who we just saw waving Ukrainian flags, right? Like that's my point. Like it's they're, and that's for totally, well, I mean, probably similar reasons, and it all comes down to money and power at the end of the day, right? But they get there's a line that you have to toe if you're going to be on the right side of the fence, and when there's certain rules and regulations around that, and as far as I guess where people are to fall. So it's very clear to me and most people, I would think, politically where this falls. It's like teams. It's like it's like football or something. And it's
Hey, Dave.
but it's good.
I'm sorry, I don't mean to cut you off. Hey, Davey, look at the video where it was like the picture of J6 next to the pro-Palestine things real quick.
Okay.
But yeah, I'm sorry, I can't.
Yeah.
I'm rate limited because I'm still banned on Twitter because apparently calling for treason charges against your government is a act of violence. Anyway,
Well, I just want to point, Hun, I want to just say something real quick too. It's just like, because I've had this feeling, and I've also heard other people commenting on what's going on out these protests too. Is like, I'm afraid it's going to be like another Kent State situation is going to happen, and then it's going to pop off this summer. And
But
it's
that's what
gonna
they
be
want. That's
bad.
exactly what
Right.
they want.
I was
So
like
they're putting
watching,
everything in place.
I have a
Yeah,
question
there's
for
a video by Karlin Boroshenko. She did one of her shows watching these leftists talking about what's going on with Israel and Palestine. And Angela Davis, who is an activist on the left, talked about how they successfully infiltrated the pro-Palestine movement. So you have this weird marriage between socialism and this pro-Palestine movement and a lot of others. Like when you were saying earlier that BLM and Antifa were different, they were not different whatsoever.
No.
If you actually looked on what their goals were, I had it in my old computer, and I had them both right next to each other, line by line. It was almost verbatim, except for one was more of an emphasis on being black, but everything that they wanted was exactly the same.
Well,
And
they're
it was all
openly
Marxist
Marxist.
ideology.
Yep, that's what I
Right,
was trying to
right.
say. BLM is Marxist, so it's the same tune we're singing.
Right.
But I mean,
Absolutely.
I think you were talking about this image.
yes.
This is the image, not J6 and
January 6th, you got motherfuckers waving a fucking American flag, Trump flags, whatever, the Gadsden flag. Apparently, this is domestic terrorism, ladies and gentlemen, even though on May 29th, 2020, they tried to firebomb the White House in an attempt to kill a sitting president because they were told he was racist, which levying war against, that would be treason, correct? January 6th was the worst day in fucking history. Yet our own fucking government is waving a fucking Ukrainian flag.
not only they've done it multiple times. They've had Zelensky Zelensky there with a Ukrainian flag signed by all the congressmen. Not only that, if this doesn't enrage you, you have problems. You have problems. This is U.S. And by the way, I'm going to go click here. This man actually put this on his own Twitter page. He is actually flaunting this. Today in Kyiv, I handed President Zelensky a copy of the vote totals from Saturday's affirmation of the U.S. support for Ukraine in the face of Russian aggression. This man went to I believe he went to Ukraine. I don't know if Zelensky was here or not. But he handed him a list of everybody who voted for and against this bill. Do you not think this is going to be used against people?
Bill Keating from Massachusetts.
Well, they're all owned. That's just it. This is like,
yeah.
This is the official tally of the vote.
Yes, I see.
For the
oh, yeah.
Yes.
And look at
You
that.
gave the list of people who just voted against your fucking ass. That's what you did. That's what you fucking did. Just like the whole Hunter Biden Burisma fucking scandal. There's nothing there. You just gave him the list of the people who voted against you.
That's my favorite part. He just says,
Thank you so much. 73.
73. Yeah, does that mean you guys are going to be 73 million? Is that billion? Is that what I get? 73 billion?
This is 73 billion. I'm going to leave y'all with this because, of course, I've been drinking. I got to pee again. Hold on. Zelensky throws down the gauntlet west over mobile Patriot systems. Apparently, this motherfucker wants us to improve our own shit and give it to him. He wants the Patriot missile system to be mobile and put on his front line. I'll be right back.
I have a real question about the whole Ukraine-Russian war thing. Like, when's the last time we got a video or anything on the ground of what's going on right now?
Not for a while. I mean, we had that video yesterday. I can play the video again if you want.
Because all I'm seeing is like Bono and then all these celebrities and Congress people and Joe Biden going over there to Ukraine. But I mean, we get pictures and videos all the time of seeing what's going over at Palestine and Israel with like missiles flying all over the place. But they're mum. It's been mum for like over a year.
Well, I mean, we do have video of what's going on in Ukraine right now.
Despite the rockets, Ukraine's nightlife is rocking. The bars and clubs are full. The place is jumping, music pumping, drinks flow freely, and they dance like there's no tomorrow. And it's not just here. Fun fact, there are now more bars and restaurants in the capital than before the start of the invasion.
Did you hear that, folks? Let me play that really quickly for you again.
Fun fact, there are now more bars and restaurants in the capital than before the start of the invasion.
There are more bars and restaurants than before the invasion. We're paying for this, folks. We're paying for this.
Apparently, Haley will be right back.
Okay.
Yeah.
But yeah,
that's
all right.
We're paying. They're over there having a great time. Their economy's booming while we're sitting here can't afford fucking ramen noodles. We're sitting here trying to figure out how we're going to pay our rent tomorrow. We're here trying to figure out how we're going to fucking live day by day. We're trying to figure out how we're going to be able to afford our kids fucking to play football, baseball, basketball, anything like that. But they're out there having a fucking joy of a time while we got kids over here crying about how they can't work 40 hours a week because they can't afford shit. They're over there opening clubs. Yeah. Think about that next time you go and vote. And I'm not talking about just the presidential vote. Don't get me wrong, folks. Fuck the presidential vote. Vote locally. Because your governor, to be honest with you, has more power than the president of the United States does. If you don't believe me, go back and rewatch some of the newscasts from the lockdowns. Go watch. And you'll see them tell you that the governor of the state has more power than the president. Yeah. So vote locally.
We're going to touch on that just here in a second, Mama J.
Yeah, it just ties into what Davey was talking about. So,
well, let's go ahead and hit it up then. I mean, where the fuck do you think any of this is coming from, ladies and gentlemen? All this war overseas and everything. Where the fuck do you think this is coming from? We're still on YouTube. I'm trying to be nice. Y'all go ahead and we're gonna head to a Rumble site. I'm pretty pissed off at this whole thing. Number one, because capital gains proposal of 44.6%. Capital gains is I play into the fucking market and I make money over time.
Mm-hmm.
I don't cash out But now I owe money on what I make money over time, even though I don't have that money in my pocket.
Yeah. So
it's based on
why? What
think.
would give anybody incentive to invest
That is not
in the
a
market?
revenue stream for me, but you want to tax me on something that is not a constant flowing revenue stream.
Yeah. But all right, ready? So when I was born, my uncle put money into stocks for me because he worked at a trading company, right? I have not touched that shit for 36 years. So you're telling me something that I have no idea about, that I haven't been really, looking into. I think Haley's back, by the way.
Yeah, she posted it. Her
And
camera hasn't
so
come on.
you're telling me that I'm going to be taxed on something that I...
Oh, yeah. That was a long time ago.
And by the way, more taxes. And by the way, you want to know where your taxes, where all this money is going? Where did aid for Ukraine go? Where the aid to Ukraine goes first? Base Systems, Boeing, General Dynamics, Lockheed Martin, Honeywell, RTX Corporation, L3 Harris, AeroVironment, Northrop Grumman. That's where the money goes first. And this is from Yahoo Finance on Instagram. Washington is spending another $61 billion to help Ukraine, but most of the money will flow through the United States economy first. The new law will allow the Pentagon to send existing weapons, everything from bullets to missiles to tank parts to Kiev, and then simultaneously backfill the inventory with new manufacturing effects. It is the military-industrial complex, folks. You want to know why?
That is actually... That's what pisses me off. Look, follow me here for a second. I'm going to make it full screen.
Okay.
I was a military contractor. Our biggest fucking thing was the Patriot missile system. I worked on that. I know it inside and out. And for you to sit there and tell me, hey, we need to make this mobile, when it was my ass that figured out through the wireless internal combustion engine that actually tests the Patriot missile system because of its combustion engine, that there was a back door because they wouldn't change the channels on a wireless connection. For you to tell me I must take that mobile so you can just fire rockets into fucking Poland again is an insult to everything that I stand for as an American fucking citizen. And yes, let's not get it fucked up, ladies and gentlemen. Zelensky fired rockets into Poland to sit there and say Russia did it, NATO attack. It is an insult to me that you must say that I must think a lot faster because you want to pick up your shit and move it off of my dime. I'm sorry.
That's how you really feel. Damn.
You have no idea what goes into the Patriot missile system. And for you to say, hey, this shit must be mobile now off of my fucking dime, my ingenuity, my creation. I'm not the one behind the Patriot missile system. I know it.
They can
like the back
reverse
of my
engineer
hand.
that shit. They can steal some Russian scientists like we did after World War II. They can reverse engineer everything. They got the money.
God, that Project Paperclip.
saying.
The fact that you can get books on YouTube now is amazing because I can't read, as we all know. I butchered Haley's article, but the fact that I was listening to it and what they did and what they got away with. They're like, yeah, no, we know you guys did all this fucked up shit, but you know what? Hey, if you come to do it for us, you guys are okay. We'll let you into the finest universities, give you the finest, our finest scientists. Listen, don't worry about it. You gas children. That's fine. It's okay. We'll take care of you. You come here and we'll take care of you. You get all this money.
Did you just say you gas children? Hold on.
That's what Project Paperclip was about, the World War II, the Germans that were doing all those experiments over there and then coming here.
I'm tracking. Go
Yeah.
ahead.
So now all of a sudden, and then they bring them over here, and they're like, "Yeah, no,
he
don't
just said
worry
I
about."
gas children, and I'm just like, wait, what?
No,
Listen, my
Joseph.
parts
He's
sometimes
like,
are
Davey,
gross.
I just got this book on tape.
I lost track as he's just like, I gas
But,
children. I'm
yeah,
just like, well,
so that's fine. You did that over there, but if you come here, we'll forget it even happened. Like, are you fucking like really? Like, this is what we're doing, and then not for nothing, and then you see the things that are happening on campus, and you go, sounds about right. Sounds about right. Don't put your kids in college. Don't put your kids in college, folks. Have them learn a trade because those are going away.
You have no idea. We can't find anybody.
No, welders are making six figures. Plumbers are making six figures. Electricians are, because no kids are doing it. They're going to.
All I'm doing is setting a network between the fucking user end of the computer where everybody talks and a server end for them, and I still can't find anybody that doesn't kill people.
Yeah.
Or at least have a DUI. Can we not do that? Like, I went to extreme ends on both of that, but yes, those are what we are looking into.
You're not wrong. My 9 to 5, they hired a girl that was literally in the middle of a murder trial, and I was like, "What are we doing here, folks? Like,
Wait,
are we?
hold on,
Is
but
this
wait,
real?"
Was she the perpetrator though? Like, was
Yes.
she out on bail?
I guess, and a government agency hired this woman, and I was like, okay. And you wonder why we are okay. All right, you guys are the best. You're awesome. You guys are awesome. I'm just saying that I don't think that was a good idea, but you guys make the best decisions in the world. So yeah.
One of our coordinators actually interviewed a man who was convicted of first-degree murder. You want to stick him with people that are just like, bitch, we doing this job and getting the fuck out?
He has been rich. Excuse me, sir. Sir, did you not serve time either? And you paid your penance. You paid your penance, and then now look at you flourishing as the day.
Hold on. I damn sure did.
You're flourishing like a dandelion.
and try to get a job where it's just like, bitch, we getting out of here now. All right. You're putting up a recipe for disaster with that kind of thing.
And Davey, I wonder who would actually do a better job. This lady who may possibly get hired on, who's in the middle of a murder trial, is the perpetrator or a college graduate?
That's wonderful. Sad. That is a wonderful question. I never thought about that.
Question.
Oh my God.
I guarantee you would be the one on fucking murder trial.
You're not wrong.
However, I don't want to have a bad day and get stabbed like I'm in fucking Shawshank Redemption.
That's qualifications only. That's sad. That's pathetic.
I'm gonna say something that's probably gonna get me in trouble. But in this business,
find a happy medium.
In this business, there's military and there's the chair force, and the guy who we hired from the chair force, you thought he went to a liberal college because, oh boy, the answers we get from this guy are like, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. And the lady with the murder charge would have done 1,000 times better than this guy, because this guy's excuses were just like, it was cold and the wind blew and my sinuses got infected, and dude, it doesn't, just do what you got to do. No, but the chair was cold and my tea wasn't hot enough. I was like, bro, like this for real? Like, this is your complaints, and you're serving the country. You served the country. Thank you for your service. But why are you complaining about cold tea, my friend? You understand? You took the job.
Look, I get your point.
Iced tea.
But to the contrary, I also work with a guy who actually didn't show up for work one day. And my boss called him. He's like, hey, where you at? This motherfucker said, I'm working from home. We have a physical fucking job. We have to be on site. We can't work from home. And he's just like, all right, cool, whatever.
I think we should head over to Rumble to start to talk about the thing that we can't talk about here, so that we can get a little bit of Haley's input before she has to depart.
Uh-oh.
But I mean, as
I
far as that
listen.
goes-
I don't want to keep you on here longer than I'm. You could stay as long as you want. I know you didn't have all night, so that's why I was, I wanted to have you on the other
I'm just
side.
interested to see what's like so spicy that it's not going to be here and it's going to be on Rumble. I'm ready.
Well, I mean,
It's actually not that spicy.
it's not that. Well, I mean,
Mitch was
it's
like,
going to be spicy because of the things we say.
the implications of
we're
it, because
unfettered.
well, because the implications of it, it's what we're talking about on the other side on Rumble is the unredacted Trump, what the unredacted portion of what they wanted to go after Trump for, and it tells exactly.
At the classified documents case.
Yeah.
Yes.
So
the same. Okay, it's the Florida trial, ladies and gentlemen, run by Judge Cannon, the same fucking judge that said, first of all, she's Trump appointed. This is the same judge that said, hey, I'm going to take this case and I'm going to be impartial. I'm going to be fair throughout this entire thing. And throughout the entire hearing, she has, throughout the entire case, actually, it hasn't been a hearing yet, but throughout the entire case, she has been fair. She has taken away things from Trump. She has given things to Trump. This is something actually major with that.
Yeah.
And we are going to actually go to the Rumble only section, ladies and gentlemen. I'm going to go ahead and give you the link. Now, we do this because for Haley's crew out there, we do this because there are some things you cannot say on Twitter, and just to pull y'all away from...
No, you can say things you can't say on YouTube, not Twitter. You can say whatever the fuck you want on Twitter. But YouTube, there's things on YouTube that you can't say that they will pull the episode entirely. I mean, we had our episode Wednesday got pulled because we put an SNL skit, didn't have the CBS logo, didn't say SNL on it, but it was pulled because it was an SNL skit about ISIS. So, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
You know what? I completely forgot. I was like, who the hell did we have on yesterday? It was racking my brain. I was like,
we got
Sally.
They will not let it be published on YouTube because of that and the song that Josh used at the end of our program. We're going to be on another show tomorrow night.
Oh, yeah.
We're going to be on our friend Liberty, all of us, all three of us will be on Liberty and Justice, Liberty or Death. I'm sorry, I keep forgetting.
Yeah.
Liberty or Death podcast tomorrow night. We played
with
his
trigger warning.
Yeah, we played his little video for it, and it had a Metallica song. That said that we're not allowed to. We wouldn't be able to use it monetarily. But what got us blocked was the SNL skit for ISIS. The SNL skit about ISIS blocked us took our episode down yesterday. So we're gonna have to redo that, and so it should be still on Rumble, which that's why we're going to Rumble for this, because they'll just take it down for anything. Right. I mean, some of the things we could be playing now, they could be taken down for. So, but we will be going over to Rumble.
I did use the voice of the people of YouTube on this. Like, I try to stay away from YouTube because I got a strike on YouTube. The last strike we had on YouTube was because I covered the first Republican debate, and because they talked about a certain jab that was forced upon you, I got medical misinformation strike. Now, we're gonna go over to Rumble, ladies and gentlemen. I am going to. Oh yeah, I already did. Okay, so I put the chat in there. That could come up for everybody. As far as Haley,
I think I need
concerned,
to take you to an AA meeting.
Look, all right, fuck. As far as Haley is concerned, if you want to post that as well, here we are going to the Rumble only section.
You got 3 minutes.
That's right. You got 3 minutes, ladies and gentlemen. We will be right back. Ladies and gentlemen, the mainstream narrative has become cancerous to society. Currently, there is no known cure, but doses of other treatments have shown some promising results. Off-label use has been authorized.